All right, today on The Explainer, we're diving into a really wild real-life story. It's about a family who thought they were building a dream with real estate, but it quickly turned into, well, a total nightmare. And listen, this isn't some textbook example. This really happened. Can a $3 million bet on property absolutely wreck you financially? You bet it can. So let's get right into how this all went down. The crazy thing is, this whole story doesn't start with greed or anything like that. It actually starts from a place of love. The wife just wanted to help her husband, who was working incredibly hard. She wanted to secure their future. So, yeah, with really good intentions, this Australian woman, she's in her late 40s, 4 kids, she decides, I've got to do something. And for her, property investment seems like the golden ticket, the way to finally make their money work for them. Okay, let's get a clear picture of where they were starting from. You've got a couple, almost 50, with 4 daughters, and they're living on a single income of about 10 grand a month pre-tax. They already have a mortgage on their family home. But here's the big move. They refinance that home, pulling out a massive $600,000 in cash. I mean, that's a huge step. That was supposed to be the war chest for their property empire. So with all this cash, where do they get their advice? Well, from a property developer. Now think about that for a second. This is someone who makes money when you buy property. So following this advice, they take that 600 grand and go all in on pre-construction properties, stuff that hasn't even been built yet. First up on their shopping list, an $835,000 townhouse in Melbourne. And they didn't stop there. Next, a house and land package all the way over in Western Australia. That's another $716,000. But wait, there's more. The grand finale was a luxury apartment on the Gold Coast for, get this, over $1.5 million. Just wow. Take a second to process those numbers. So, let's put it all together. In just a few short months, they took that $600,000 from their home and turned it into over $3 million in new property commitments. This, right here, is where the dream really started to sour and become a trap. Okay, so what exactly was the trap? I mean, $3 million in assets sounds great, right? Wrong. The problem wasn't the value of the properties themselves. It was the cash flow, or more accurately, the complete lack of it. This was about to trigger a massive, massive crisis for them. And this is where it gets really scary. Look at this timeline. It's basically a ticking time bomb. You've got deadlines looming, one after another, a deposit due here, a settlement there, and every single one of those dates meant a huge new mortgage payment was about to start. And remember, all of this was supposed to be paid for by a single income. There's just no way. When a real financial advisor looked at this, they had a specific term for it. It's the practice of using new debt to feed existing debt. It's a classic downward spiral. It's like paying off one credit card with another, and then another. We all know how that ends, right? It's a one-way ticket to bankruptcy. And the advisor did not mince words. They were told straight up, you are going to go bankrupt. And worse, your husband will be working for the bank for the rest of his life. I mean, can you imagine hearing that? It's absolutely brutal. So how do you get out of a trap this deep? What's the escape plan? Well, the advice they got was pretty shocking, but also incredibly simple. The prescription was radical. Sell. Sell it all, now, even if you lose money. The game wasn't about making a profit anymore. It was about survival. It was about preventing a complete and total financial wipeout. So liquidate everything, and do it fast. But just selling everything wasn't the end of it. That was just step one, stopping the bleeding. The next, and maybe even more important step, was to build a completely new plan for their finances, something that was actually sustainable. And you can see the difference right here. It's like night and day. On one side, you've got the old path, this super high-risk, high-leverage real estate that just sucks cash out of your pocket every month. On the other side, the new path. Get rid of the debt and start disciplined investing in something like index funds. It's a strategy that can actually create positive cash flow over time. And probably the biggest change of all, they started listening to financial educators, not property sellers. So here was the actual step-by-step recovery plan. Number 1, stop. Just stop. No more using home equity for anything. 2, sell. Get rid of all 3 of those pre-construction properties immediately. 3, absorb the loss. This is a tough one. They had to accept that the deposit money was gone. Think of it as a very, very expensive lesson. 4, invest. Take their monthly savings and consistently buy into something like a NASDAQ 100 index fund. And finally, number 5, learn. Keep building up that financial knowledge so a trap like this never, ever happens again. Look, this whole thing isn't just a crazy story about one family. There are some huge lessons here for literally anyone who's thinking about investing. So, what should you take away from all this? Well, first, leverage is a beast. It can make you rich, sure, but it can also wipe you out in the blink of an eye. Second, and this is so important, cash flow is everything. If an asset is costing you money every single month, it's not an asset, my friend, it's a liability. Third, be so careful about who you take advice from. Ask yourself, does this person make money from my decision? And finally, just wanting to do the right thing for your family isn't enough. You have to have a sound strategy to back it up. And that really brings us to the final question you need to ask yourself. When you look at your own investments, your own assets, are they actually building your wealth, or are they just building your risk? It's a really important distinction. And that's all for this explainer.